The topic name is toroid. What is meant by toroid? A solenoid is bent here. Solenoid is bent in such a way its ends are joined together. A closed ring shape. Closed ring shape. Once again repeat. A solenoid is bent in such a way its ends are joined together to form a closed ringed shape. To form a closed ring shape is called toroid, which is shown in this figure. This is a toroid figure. The magnetic field has constant magnitude inside the toroid, whereas in the interior region, say at point P, here this is the point P, and exterior region, say at point Q, the magnetic field is 0. That means inside the solenoid, the toroid, the magnetic field is 0, as well as outside the toroid also the magnetic field is 0. Now with this diagram, with the help of this diagram, we have to explain this toroid concept. First, option A, open space interior to the toroid. Interior to the toroid. Here, open space interior to the toroid. The radius of the Ampere circular loop is R1. Now, let us calculate magnetic field BP at the point P. Here, this is the point P. At point P, we construct an Amperian loop 1 radius R1. Amperian loop, this is the loop, radius R1 around the point P. For simplicity, we take circular loop so that the length of the loop is its circumference. So length of this loop is nothing but circumference of the circle. So what is the formula for the circumference of the circle? 2 pi r. Here L1 is equal to 2 pi r1. Ampere's circuitous law for the loop 1 is, this is the loop 1. This is the loop 1. Ampere circuital law for the loop 1 is, already we know the formula for the Ampere circuital law, line integral of loop 1 BP vector dot dl vector is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. Next, since the loop 1 enclosed no current, I enclosed is equal to 0, because in no current flowing passing through this loop, because inner side of the toroid there is no current passing through the loop. So that is why the line integral of loop 1 BP vector dot dl vector is equal to 0. This is possible only if the magnetic field at point P vanishes, that is. So here already we know the concept of toroid. In interior region and exterior region, magnetic field should be 0, is 0. So that is why BP vector is equal to 0. Then second, one important thing, open space exterior to toroid. Here exterior point means Q. Let us calculate magnetic field. Let us calculate the magnetic field BP at point Q. Sorry, point Q. BQ. Point Q. We construct an Amperian loop of radius R3. Here radius is R3. Amperian loop radius R3. As shown in the figure, the length of the loop is L3 is equal to 2 pi R3. So the last region, exterior region, length of the loop is nothing but 2 pi R3. That means 2 pi R3. Ampere's circuital law for the loop 3 is, so once again repeat this Ampere circuit law formula. Line integral of loop 3 q vector dot dl vector is equal to mu naught I enclosed. Since in each turns of the toroid loop, current coming out of plane of the paper is cancelled by the current going into the plane of the paper here. So plane of the paper cancelled by the current going into the plane of papers, that thus I enclosed is equal to 0. That means line integral of loop 3 bq vector dot dl vector is equal to 0. This is possible only if the magnetic field at point q vanishes. Here point q, magnetic field is vanishes. That is bq vector is equal to 0. The next last point is inside the toroid. Inside the toroid, consider the point S. What happened? Let us calculate the magnetic field Bs at the point S by constructing an Amperian loop 2. This is the Amperian loop 2. The radius of this Amperian loop is R2. So equation can be written as L2 is equal to 2 pi R2. Ampere circuital law for the loop 2 is line integral of loop 2 Bs vector dot dl vector is equal to mu naught I enclosed. Let I be the current passing through the toroid. I be the current passing through the toroid and n be the number of turns of the toroid. Then I enclosed is equal to capital N and capital I. So the equation can be written as line integral of loop 2 Bs vector dot dl vector is equal to line integral of loop 2 B dl cos theta is equal to integration of dl is nothing but L. L is nothing but length of the circular loop, means 2 pi R2. So B into 2 pi R2. Now the equation can be written as line integral of loop 2 Bs vector dot dl vector is equal to mu naught Ni. Already we know the formula of Ampere circuital law. Mu naught I. So here the number of turns of the toroid is N. So mu naught N into I. So equated these two equations, we obtained Bs is equal to Ni divided by 2 pi R2. Ni divided by 2 pi R2. The number of turns per unit length is small n is equal to n by 2 pi R2. Then the magnetic field at point S is Bs is equal to mu naught into n by 2 pi R2 can be replaced as a small n. So Bs is equal to mu naught n into I. So this is a very important formula for the statement of Lorentz force. When an electric charge Q is kept at rest in a magnetic field, no force acts on it. At the same time, if the charge moves in the magnetic field, it experiences a force. This force is different from Coulomb force studied in Unit 1 lesson. This force is known as magnetic force. It is given by the equation F vector is equal to Q into V vector cross B vector. In general, if the charge is moving in both the electric and magnetic field, the total force experienced by the charge is given by F vector is equal to Q E vector into V vector cross B vector. It is known as Lorentz force. That means, simply says, what is meant by Lorentz force? If the charge is moving in both electric and magnetic fields, the charge experiences the total amount of force. It's nothing but F vector is equal to Q into E vector into V vector cross B vector. Is nothing but Lorentz force. Simply says, moving charges experience the electric and magnetic field force. Is nothing but Lorentz force. Once again repeat, when an electric charge Q is kept at rest means in a magnetic field, no force acts on it. At the same time, if the charge moves in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. That force, this force is known as magnetic force, because charge experiences a magnetic force. That is why we called as a magnetic force. So the equation is F vector is equal to Q into V vector cross B vector. If suppose the same charge is moving in a both electric and magnetic fields, the total force experienced by the charge is given by F vector is equal to Q into E vector into V vector cross B vector. What is mean by Q? Charge. What is mean by E? Electric field. What is mean by B? Magnetic field. What is mean by V? V is nothing but velocity of the charge. It is known as Lorentz force. The next topic is force on a moving charge in a magnetic field. When a charge, electric charge Q is moving with velocity V vector in the magnetic field B vector, it experiences a force called magnetic force Fm vector. After careful experiments, Lorentz deduced the force experienced by a moving charge in the magnetic field Fm vector. Fm vector is equal to Q into V vector cross B vector. In magnitude, Fm is equal to QVB sin theta. So important points, there are 8 important points in the magnetic Lorentz force. First point is magnetic field force Fm vector is directly proportional to the magnetic field. Fm vector is directly proportional to the magnetic field. Here Fm vector is directly proportional to the magnetic field. Fm vector, second point is Fm vector is directly proportional to the velocity. So that means magnetic field is increases means force also increases. Velocity of the charge is increases means force also increases. The third point is Fm vector is directly proportional to sine of the angle between velocity and the magnetic field. So directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the velocity and the magnetic field. Then fourth one is Fm vector is directly proportional to the magnitude of the charge. That means magnitude of the charge value is increases means force also increases. Then fifth point is direction of the Fm vector force is always perpendicular to here, perpendicular to magnetic field and velocity of the charge, velocity and magnetic field of the charge. So the direction of the Fm vector is always perpendicular to V vector and B vector, as Fm vector is the cross product of V vector and B vector. Then the seventh point is the direction of Fm vector on negative charge is opposite to the direction of Fm vectors. If suppose negative charge passing through the electric and magnetic field, what happened? Direction of Fm vector on negative charge is opposite to the direction of Fm vector on positive charge, provided other factors are identical. The last point is if the velocity V vector of the charge Q is along magnetic field, Q is along magnetic field B vector, then Fm force is 0, because magnetic field and the electric field always perpendicular to each other. Here Q moving along with the magnetic field means force is equal to 0, because charge is does not affected by the magnetic field, because both the field and charges are moving in a same direction, that means parallel. So there is no force acting on the charge Q. So that is why force is 0. Then definition of Tesla. The strength of the magnetic field is 1 Tesla. Note it down. Very, very important point. Strength of the magnetic field is 1 Tesla. If unit charge moving, 1 Coulomb charge moving in it with unit velocity experiences unit force. 1 Tesla is equal to 1 Newton second divided by Coulomb meter. 1 Newton is otherwise written as 1 Newton divided by ampere meter is equal to, what is the unit of 1 Tesla? 1 Newton per ampere per meter. So 1 Tesla also written as 1 Newton per ampere per meter. Once again repeat the definition of Tesla. The strength of the magnetic field is 1 Tesla. Strength of the magnetic field is 1 Tesla. If unit charge moving in it with unit velocity experiences unit force, is nothing but definition of Tesla. Once again repeat the important point of magnetic Lorentz force. Force is directly proportional to the magnetic field. Then force is directly proportional to the velocity v vector. Then force is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the velocity and magnetic field. Force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the charge q. Then direction of the force is always perpendicular to the velocity of the charge and magnetic field, as force is the cross product of v vector and b vector. Then the direction of force on negative charges, if suppose negative charge moving in the electric and magnetic field, force on negative charge is opposite to the direction of Fm vector on positive charge, provided other factors are identical. The last point is, if velocity v vector of the charge q is along magnetic field b vector, then Fm vector is 0. Once again repeat the last point. If velocity v vector of the charge q is along magnetic field b vector, then Fm vector is, that means force is 0, because charge moving along with the magnetic field means the charges does not affected by the magnetic field, because electric and magnetic field are always perpendicular to each other. If suppose parallel to each other means there is no force acting between the magnetic and the electric field. So that is why the charge, if suppose moving along the direction of magnetic field, means there is no force acting on the charge q. That is why the force is 0. Thank you.